Sometimes you see where folks are looking a fall guy.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to look internally.
What's up, everyone? You watch it On Air Nick Jabba podcast here on YouTube and Facebook, guys. Hope you guys having a blessed day today. Guys, we have got Jesse Brown, who is running for commissioner here in Zebulon for the 2025 race, on the podcast today to talk about everything under the sun from his point of view. All right, guys, before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to Zebulon Digital Media. We are working with them in collaboration with this particular podcast series. Also like to give a shout out to George Roa and Brittany Sanderford for helping me put together these videos, guys. Without further ado, let's get into Jesse Brown's interview. What's up, everyone? You watch On Air Nick Jabba podcast here on YouTube. Guys, please like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Today we have Jesse Brown with us, and he is running for commissioner here in Zebulon, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background?
Well, when I was 7 years old, my family moved to Zebulon. So that's 1987. Played sports, in the Zebulon rec leagues, football leagues. When we had the Zebulon Cougars back then,
Okay.
I believe the Zebulon Bearcats there now, but. I went to high school, went to elementary school at Zebulon Elementary, middle school at Zebulon Middle. We still had the old Shepherd School building there before the tornado took it out,
Yep.
96. My parents' house got hit by that same tornado, so we were here through the calamities that were happening in Zebulon then. Graduated East Wake High School in 98.
Okay.
Johnson Community College, Nash Community College, a little bit of NC State University, but ended up settling down in the family business, which was construction.
Okay.
We started out residential framing, exterior trim, moved into general contracting. 08, when the economy was taking a beating, in 09, I moved into law enforcement, went to BLET at night, and construction during the day. So lost 30 pounds in 7 months.
Wow.
Based on that. And became a Zebulon police officer in 09. Worked full time till I retired my second K-9 in 2018. Went part time then, and then went back to the family business, retired my father out of it a couple years later, took it over as the licensed general contractor for same. So.
Oh, wow.
That's what I've been doing now. Just, I said, resigned from full-time, or went for part-time with the Zebulon Police Department back in May so that I could run for commissioner.
Very cool. Now, what has led you into being a part of Zebulon politics here?
Well, I've always been somewhat ingrained, just paying attention when you work and your salary is based on it. And we had, the economy, 09 to 15, 16, we actually got to a point where we had 0 raises.
Yeah.
Not to a fault of the town itself, but just the actual beating the economy was taking. I mean, there was not a lot of money coming in. I know there were some issues with some local businesses. Their income, the taxes that actually they had to pay were 0, so we lost a lot of our base.
Wow.
But when you start going through that and you hear, oh, things are going to get better, or things are going to go this direction from the hired echelon basically in town, you go, okay, are they feeding me a line or are they not? And I mean, to be dead honest with you, they were working hard too. I mean, they weren't getting these raises either at that time. So you just start paying attention a little bit more. And then also, you run a business in the town. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. I'm looking at what's down the road for them.
Right.
Do I want to be in this town? And to do that, you got to kind of put your fingers on the pulse, and that just maybe snowballs you, especially being tied into business around here.
What are core issues driving your campaign?
So the transparency, accountability, and then of course the progress.
Right.
My being a general contractor, and being tied into some development, my biggest thing about the progress is the right progress. I mean, we have a downtown district that we really, really need to work on. I do like the historical part of it. I mean, to be dead to rights with you, the house that I have was a secondary house for Mr. Bridgers that actually owned Little River Ice Company and owned several spots in town. So just by default, you get into the historical side. So I'd like to see us really push. Raleigh has a lot of that. Nightdale pushed it. Really like to look into that a little further. And until you actually get into the political field, as in, like, I'm kind of on the outside right now looking in. I'm not 100% positive what we can do, but I know what we will do, and what we will do is look into it. Let's get farther into it. Let's talk to the right people. Let's talk to the outside towns that have done it.
Yeah.
Give us some influence. How'd you do it?
Mm-hmm. What would you say one of your priorities are that you're like really passionate about?
I'm really passionate about doing something with downtown. We need to do something with these buildings that are just sitting there doing nothing.
Okay.
They're getting dilapidated. My engineering mind from being in building, nothing gets better sitting. Right.
Absolutely.
So we could bring a safety matter into it. We could bring a monetary matter into it. I mean, these places, if folks are sitting on them, hoping they gain better revenue just by sitting there.
Right.
Maybe they're on edge, but I say, okay, we'll get more in the black if we sit on it a little bit longer. Well, if the building's going down, the land is what it is. Land's going to give, but the building, we can still do something with that.
Yeah.
But we could bring, let's be honest, the starter home is out right now, price point wise.
Right.
Okay. So people coming out of college are going into apartments.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 years in apartments, where they used to do, 2 years in an apartment.
Right.
Back, so I was coming out of school and getting to the job market, 18, 19, 20 years old. That's 25 years ago. There were starter homes everywhere.
Yeah.
I bought one. I mean, everybody did at that time. So in saying that, I really think we need to focus on getting away from the bedroom community, getting these apartments. There's a new apartment building that they're going to build on 96 that I think is genius.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because they're also putting commercial underneath. So maybe a couple of your wants and needs are right there. And I'm working on some projects. Like Durham's pushing this now. Raleigh's pushing this now.
Yeah.
Nightdale. We need to follow suit. Otherwise, all these folks that are looking for that starter home / apartment are going to go to Nightdale.
Yeah.
Or further out. So we're going to lose a certain clientele.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
All that commercial begets more money for town, more money for us to do things here in town.
Absolutely. Zebulon has made a lot of headlines in the news, recently. And what's your thoughts on how the town has been portrayed in the media when it comes to some of these stories that we've seen run on WRAL and some of the news stuff you see in the newspapers like Awake Weekly and.
Are we speaking on representation wise?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anytime you have a trip or a stumble in local politics, it's a black eye. The biggest thing that I want to do is get beyond that. I want to solve these problems and move forward, whether that's getting some of the individuals that we feel like are responsible for that out, so be it.
Right.
We need to put new blood in there.
Right.
And to be dead honest with you, if these folks get out of office, new ones go in, and we go down the same road, then we know it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
There's another underlying problem, another underlying issue. But in order to move forward, we've got to try to get some new blood in there, new ideas, new experience.
Right.
So that's really what I'm running on is my experience in building, and obviously in public safety too. I mean, I know what this town does at 3 a.m. just like it does at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I worked it for several years.
Mm-hmm. You, with your background in law enforcement, how do you view crime right now in Zebulon?
So, we can be better.
Have you seen like an uptick over the last few years, or what?
No, not an uptick. Uptick in population gives you an uptick in
everything.
Certain crimes,
right?
Sometimes, right? So, you would get more. We have a lot of new housing going in.
Okay.
And a lot of them are really close together. And these people are piling in here, brand new homes. Like if you get uptick in domestics, it was like, yeah, you got a lot of brand new houses, brand new people here.
Yeah.
That comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Larcenies comes with the territory. You got more people here. You got to remember too, a lot of the crime that I remember seeing, especially so it's Walmart, for example.
Right.
Nothing against them, but we have misdemeanor larcenies come out of there.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, 9 out of 10 of those were people from out of town.
Really?
And you have to remember that we're on the edge of the county. We're on the edge of Wake County. So we're on the edge of the metro. We're really the gateway to Wake County from the east.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Folks get off the highway, they come in there. The crime itself inside of Zebulon is not bad, but when you compare it to the number of people here, so per capita,
right,
seems a lot more. But there's 200,000 people to travel through this town daily. Daily. So it kind of gets misconstrued. Something that we really need to stay on top of, though, like the idea of the flock cameras,
right?
Downtown at the fronts of neighborhoods, great idea, because herein lies the rub. Let's say that person from out of town goes in, wants to snatch and grab somebody's lawnmower, weed eater, whatever, out of one of these neighborhoods. If we get a camera at the front of that neighborhood that takes a picture of that car going out, boom, we can track them, right? Same thing going downtown. You have a break-in downtown. If I got a camera here, here, and here, I got pictures of that guy, girl, whomever going in and out of town.
Right. That's what's up. This is a question from one of our voters here in Zebulon. There was a tragic death at Weaver's Pond, and they feel like there was not a whole lot of information that was released. What can you tell us about what happened there exactly in your?
So, my professional judgment opinion, because I didn't work that case. I know the individual drowned in one of the drainage ponds.
Okay.
Right. Just from my knowledge of working these kind of calls, so unfortunately the medical examiner's office is hammered busy.
Yeah.
Okay. And like we can say what we think maybe the cause of death is.
Yeah.
But if we, with all due respect, if we don't have a quote unquote bullet hole,
yeah,
okay, then I'm like, okay, well, what really happened right here?
Right.
Did he slip and fall? Did somebody push him? Is there sign of a struggle? You look for bruising on the body. Well, we haven't got the medical examiner's report back.
Right.
They take at least a year. And unfortunately, that's just the way that system works right now. So it's not through any fault of like Zebulon PD. They're waiting on that report to come back right now, and it's hard for them because they don't want to go out there and go, well, we think it's this and think it's this, because once you say that, the public takes it as a fact,
right,
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We got another one here. During the Juneteenth celebration, gunshots were reported here in Zebulon, and there was a report out that said Commissioner Miles, along with his brother, were named persons of interest. What does that designation mean exactly, and how does that situation?
I read that. So, not sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
I
read that report. They were recognized as other persons.
Oh, okay.
It's not a witness. It's not a victim. It's not a suspect. It's none of the above. It's somebody that happened to be there.
Just kind of a bystander.
And to be dead to rights with you, they could have approached the officers or the officers could have said, okay, well, we know who Commissioner Miles is.
Sure.
We know his brother is through him. Did you guys see what happened? And because the officer spoke to him, we have to list them on the report.
Okay.
So other persons they're not directly tied into it. They were there. But other than that, you can't say any more than that. And then the shots fired issue, I don't think they figured out a suspect. There's a lot of people there. So when you get, it could have happened from the field behind it. Yeah. Which gets out to the county.
Yeah.
All right. And when it echoes through there, panic ensued.
Sure. That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, here we go. We got another question here from a resident here. Some people are raising concerns about disturbances linked to downtown bars, people spilling into the streets, loud noises. How do we balance supporting nightlife and maintain public order?
So we need to have these groups, like public groups, coming forward, and then the owners of said bars coming forward, and then employees with the town of Zebulon. Everybody needs to have these sit-downs. And from what I've heard, that is what's happening.
Okay.
I know there's the owners of one of the bars. I'm not going to name any bars directly, just
Sure.
because I don't want to call them out directly. But
Sure.
I know 3 of the owners of 2 of the bars have actually gone down to the town, spoke to the police chief,
Sure.
spoke to the other employees. I'm not sure about if they've spoke to the town manager or not, but just from what I know, going, okay, we're going to look at putting in an age limit, maybe like 25 and older.
Okay.
You know, what type of clothing you may use in there. You know, any of us are a certain age and went to bars in Raleigh. There's places that you can have a ball cap backwards.
Yeah, it's true.
So you're out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would be out.
And you couldn't have a non-collared shirt.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So they're trying to figure out ways to draw a line to keep maybe what they would consider their riffraff
Okay.
out. But that open conversation is what needs to be happening, because
Right.
herein lies the rub. Not only can they help us by trying to keep some of that down so our police is not wrapped up downtown when they need to go to a call,
Right.
say in a neighborhood on the edge of town,
Sure.
but we can help them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're here to make money. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and we want that to happen for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I play a lot of shows out, like at different places, and just me personally, I've never ran into any issues around here. But then again, you know, there's 7 nights of the week.
It only takes that one time, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You know, it's only as
That one, messes up 1,000 attaboys real quick.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if you caught the episode I did with George Roy, who was also running for commissioner here in Zebulon. But he was pushing for a more transparency and wants the town to improve communication through social media. What's your thoughts on that proposal? And do you feel like the town is doing enough to keep people informed on what's going on?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Are they attempting to catch up on it? Absolutely. Are they to... George is an absolute genius when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
At least I think. I'm not good at it.
Right.
So compared to... I'm a fool compared to him. But at the same time, it's... I've seen things that George posted, and it's not that he knew any better than anybody else. He just did it in a time
Right.
that you're supposed to. Like, there's a couple times I saw him post things that by 8:30 in the morning, and then the town doesn't post till 10:30, and something's happened that night.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
Because herein lies the rub. That people are at work. Are most people supposed to be looking at Facebook at work?
Right.
Probably not. Why wouldn't it be out beforehand, 24 hours, so they can see that evening before
Yeah.
and plan their day accordingly? Because, you know, meetings happen at 6. If they get off at 5 o'clock, they've got to shoot home, clean up, make
Right.
sure the kids are ready.
Yeah.
Then they go to the meeting. So I don't know if pushing somebody that knows how to and can run social media to the effect of understanding who the consumer is.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that would help the town. I mean, you got people, a lot of people doing a lot of different jobs in town right now.
Yeah. I don't know if you had a chance to see the podcast we did with Gilbert Todd.
I did.
Did you have any opinions on how that actually went as far as from Gilbert's standpoint?
So I've known Gilbert a long time. I've known his family since I moved here. I went to school with his family. My dad used to work with his family because they did clearing in a lot of the neighborhoods in front of us. But Gilbert's a good man.
Right.
And, you know, what happened to him, he felt like he was put in a bad spot, which is, that's not right for anybody in a professional environment. No matter how or what he did to handle it, I think he took the highest road possible. Going, okay, look, this is going to be awful. It's going downhill. You know, there's a lot of folks would say, oh, you got to go down with your ship. But you're putting somebody at the helm of a ship that's got a bunch of holes in it already.
Right.
You got to give them the right equipment, the right boat.
Resources.
Whatever. Exactly right. So Gilbert's a really good man. And I think he's got a lot of great ideas that are going to be more in tune with the local fabric of Zebulon.
Okay.
His family's been here a long time.
Yeah.
He's got his fingers on the pulse.
Right on. There was a meeting where a lot of the dysfunction, actually, it just seemed like a lot of it got pinned on him. Mm-hmm. Do you think that criticism was warranted?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes you see where folks are looking a fall guy.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to look internally.
Yeah.
And if this is the case, so the time constraints were getting bad for having to put a budget together, and everybody starts scrambling. I get that, but sometimes you can step back and punt, which means go, okay, could be me. Let's all get our stuff together,
Right,
and figure out exactly what we need to do to get this right. Not go, okay, he's not doing it. He's not doing his part, when you don't actually have the answer.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's become more apparent that the current commissioners are, how things are operating behind the scenes. If you were elected, how would you approach working with them, especially if there's ongoing tensions?
Well, that's the whole thing. That's what we need to get our stuff together on that too. Let's talk. What's the issue? Because herein lies the rub. Anybody new going in, you're the rookie, whatever, you're going to get, and haze is an awful word because, none of us like that, but it's he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't been here. Right. Okay. New face, new ideas, new thoughts.
Yeah.
That's, for me being in business, especially building homes, something new comes out every day almost.
Right.
And the laws for it change too. I mean, just when it comes to inspections for me, I got to rely, my HVAC guy, my plumber, all of them come to me, hey, this has changed now, and I've got to take that into consideration, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with this. New ideas, new thoughts. How can we go about this? But most of all, how can we go about this for everybody in Zebulon, the 15,000 plus?
Sure.
When I go in there, I won't have 600 constituents. I got 15,000 plus.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we got to listen to that voice too, man. Go out there and listen to the voice of the people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different groups, and it's going to be different from everybody too, but I'd rather have 5 different ideas than just go, I'm going to go it alone.
Yeah.
That's clearly doesn't work.
Right. Are you running as a truly independent candidate, and are there others in the race you would align with and have, see a similar, parallel there?
Very similar ideas to George Roa, very similar ideas to Gilbert.
Okay.
Larry Laux is good with books.
Okay.
I haven't spoken enough to other candidates to see what their ideas are. I'm interested to see because some people haven't put anything out yet, so
Sure.
You don't know where they're at yet. And to be dead honest with you, this right here has been the best way to get it started, to figure out what they're about.
Yeah, who everybody is. And,
Yeah, exactly right, because this is a little more personable. Anybody can be anybody on Facebook.
That's true.
We know that.
Yeah.
There's people that have secondary Facebook pages because they're trying to be somebody else.
Absolutely.
Sideline. But nevertheless, am I out here as Jesse Brown? 100%. But also, I'm going to work with these people, and I want to hear their ideas, man. And we kind of have a kinship, again, with those same names I gave you with ideas and thoughts so far. But that doesn't mean that that's going to stay that way. But I want to hear what they got to say either way.
Absolutely. Looking back over the last 4 years, if you had been on the board, what are some things you would have done differently?
I would have dug way deeper into the DEACON Development. That should have been a lawsuit. There should have been a lot more communication. But of course, again, my knowledge in building and development, I would have seen it from both angles, I guess.
You received both sides.
That's right. So I would have dug into that a lot more. This internal conflict we seem to get inside the board is I think a lot of it's lack of communication. Maybe people have other ideas of where they want to go, where they want to be, but we really need to open up the communication lines a lot more. I would really like to see more leadership out of the mayor.
Right.
That he should be running those meetings, and not as slam the gavel.
Right.
It just because Mr. York's a great guy. I grew up next to his family too.
Sure.
He's a great guy. I just wish he would have taken the lead a little bit more. Not by the hammer or the fist, but hey, let's talk more about this here. What's this issue? What's going on right here? There's just been a lot of, this is a decision and we're out of here. You can't do that. You can't do it in small town politics, period.
Right.
We're supposedly supposed to be more available than anybody.
Right.
Right? So.
Yeah, I understand that. Wake Weekly recently reported that one of the commissioners is facing a 61-page residency challenge. Do you have any thoughts on that?
He's going to have to answer in front of a board with the Board of Elections. So, that's heavy.
Yeah.
61, that's heavy. But if he has, I'll say it in a very layman term, if he's got his ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Then so be it. Let's move on.
Right.
Let him go prove it. Let's move forward.
Sure.
So, if it's on him now, I guess, because that's where the investigation's going. So
we'll end up seeing how it shakes out, I guess.
Yeah, really. So he's just got to prove himself however they seem fit, and vice versa. It's just like court. Plaintiff, defense, everybody proves their case. Judge or jury takes it out. I believe in this one, it's a board.
Yeah.
So, in saying that, that's like a jury.
Yeah.
And the thing is though, you don't let yourself get into this. So I bought my parents' house, who lived in the center of town, say when they moved to 87.
Sure.
All right. I bought their place. I bought some property around me. I put my roots down solid. You need to find me, come to my address.
Right.
Knock on the door. Either I'm going to answer or my wife. Yeah. So at the same time, if it's legit, it's legit. Yeah. Move on.
Yeah.
That should be from that day forward, should be just done deal.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Before we wrap up here, is there anything that you would like to mention to the voters here in Zebulon that might be on the fence whether they would want to vote for you for commissioner or not?
So, look at me on paper, and then you can listen to me speak on here, obviously. But I'm sorry. But look at me on paper. Look at experience. Mm-hmm. Again, I know the people of this town. I am the people of this town.
Right.
There's no doubt. I know probably a little more thoroughly some of the inner workings of the town from working here since 09, right?
Right.
Building and development, too. To be dead to rights, we've gone from the very basic to custom multi-million-dollar houses.
Right.
I built 5 Habitat for Humanity houses in the Builders Blitz. So we've gone from the groundwork all the way to the top.
Yeah.
If you look at me on paper, I won't say it's a no-brainer because I feel like I'm talking down to someone when I say that. But with my experience, I would be a great tool inside this commission.
That's what's up. Well, Jesse, it's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
And guys, you guys can check him out. Have you got a website? Have you got a campaign website?
I do, and it's still in construction, but it should be ready by the time this comes out. But it's Vote for Brown, FOR, voteforbrown.com.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, pretty simple.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
You have a great day.